I can see why you're asking the question because it's not very clear in publications and literature out there. But as far as my understanding, that it's okay to do what you're suggesting.
Chris writes in, he goes, hey, thanks for your wisdom. I haven't missed a show in 5 years. Yeah. I haven't caught a show in 5 years.
Well, we did them once through live, so why do we don't need to hear them again, do we?
Not now. I have an IRA with $2.5 million in it and will be turning 73 next July. Therefore, I will need to make my first RMD of around $100,000 sometime next year. I have been giving a QCD out of my IRA to my church every month since turning 70 and a half, and want to know if I continue making a monthly QCD to my church in January through June next year, will it count as part of my RMD for 2025, even though I have not turned 73 yet? Or will I have to make my church wait until July? Also, if I have money out next year before turning 73 to buy a car, will it still count as part of my RMD? I'm driving a high mileage 2003 Lexus. I may want to give it out before next July.
No, the car may give out before next July.
The car may give out. Oh,
Okay.
the most exciting thing in my life. The most exciting thing my wife and I drink is Diet A&W Rootbeer.
Cool.
All right. So I hope you have some good news for me. A&W Root Beer. I haven't seen an A&W Root Beer since I was a child in Minnesota.
That was one of my favorite, the root beer float. Remember that?
Yep, sure do.
Marvelous.
I am actually a bit of a root beer connoisseur. I actually do a lot of root beer, and I actually buy like the craft root beers and I compare them. That's like one of my favorite things to do. That's what I do in my free time.
Yeah. Is A&W good or?
I'm not a big fan of the ones that have high fructose corn syrup, and unfortunately A&W does. I managed to find a version from Australia that actually had real sugar in it, and they wanted $12 a bottle for it, so bought it once.
Oh,
wow.
Okay, got it.
All right, Al. You got some good news for Chris here?
I think so. I mean, at least in all of my reading, it doesn't really matter in terms of once you turn 73. Then any money you take out during that year would count as your RMD. That's my understanding. The thing is, if you take out RMD money first and then try to do the QCD, you can't all of a sudden say the QCD money takes care of the RMD because you already took it out. But the fact that you're already doing this for the church, I think this all balances out at year. And Joe, I don't think there's a problem on that.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I don't know. I would probably wait to be if I was.
I mean, it's safer, but at least that's my understanding. It's actually I can see why you're asking the question because it's not very clear in publications and literature out there. But as far as my understanding, that it's okay to do what you're suggesting.
Yeah. No, I'll just go with.
Go with that. Okay.